everyone awesome, my name is Icarus Gomoon. Are you ready to enter the wacky world of PC building? If you have never made your own PC, you will be very well informed here, and if you have, well, you might get a kick out of my horrible phrasings. Anywho, I've built a computer in my life. I'm actually working on my second one in my entire lifespan. You see what I did there? Hello and hi and welcome to PC Building Simulator. To get started with this tutorial, press I after you close the window to open your inventory, and all the parts are shown in inventory. Close the inventory after you're done with the tutorial. Okay, cool. So if you don't know what computer parts are, welcome. I will be your teacher for this afternoon, night, morning, whatever time it is that you are viewing this documentary of information. Welcome. PCs are a very strong thing. If you have a desktop, congratulations, you have like one of the most powerful things in your arsenal. If you have a laptop, you're okay, but you're not quite there. Okay, and to start out, you can see we have a nice tower here. It's a nice build. I'm gonna guess it's the full tower. If you don't know, there's three kinds of towers. There's a mini, ATX, and full. ATX is mid-range, which I don't know why they don't call it a mid-range, so whatever. You know, hey, I'm not really the one that goes off and specifies the wordings, it's just there. And we have controls. Now you won't have this normally in your own place unless you have a workshop that's really set up and really rigged to the frickin' max. I'm gonna guess we have tools over here. Do we just have tools on us then? I have short stubby legs. Perfect, I'm perfect for the job. Anyways, so we go into our inventory and we have parts. We have just dummy CPU? Really? Really? CPUs are like the smartest thing in the entire universe and they label it as a dummy? Okay. Fine. Let's start with our power supply. Alright? It's a 500. It's not that big. Usually I go off and I tend to go off and get, you know, at least 1,000. Because, I don't know, maybe 1,000's overkill. But I feel like if you have 1,000, you can just do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want, because it's got all the power to be able to handle whatever you need. We also have a shop. We can buy whatever we want. Except for why would we do that when all they have apparently is freaking 500 watts? I don't need no 500 watts. I have them. And then, after that, oh, by the way, I guess I should go in more depth. The power supply, if you couldn't tell, is the power supply. It gives life to your computer, powers all your components, and makes it so your computer can run via the power based off of your house. It takes the power from your house, steals it, sucks it out, sucks the life force out of your house, and puts it into the computer. That way you could do things like this, make videos, and yada yada yada, if that was your case. And such was my case, because I built a computer so that way I could do YouTube. Yay! Hooray! We're learning things. Cool. Alright, so the second thing you're going to want after the case and after the power supply, because the case was already provided for us, we are going to need a motherboard. Because without a motherboard, the computer will feel lonely. Yes, it is a one-parent relationship. It is a one-parent child upbringing, and it will do all of the household chores, such as being able to manage the CPU, the RAM, the HD drives, and all that. The hard drives. You know what? The motherboard's just a mother. It's the caretaker of the entire piece, the entire spectrum. Yep. I guess you could say the power supply is the father. It gives power to the mother, and the mother gives power to the child. And you know what? It's a really weird it's a very weird relationship. Anyways, so the motherboard goes off and controls the processes of everything else. Next thing you're going to want to get is whatever you feel like attaching to the motherboard next, but we're going to go with a CPU, which apparently all we have is a CPU dummy. Can we get something that doesn't say dummy in here? Because, nope, it's all just dummy. It's all just dummy. I really don't like the fact that it's called a dummy. Personally, it kind of offends me. It's like calling me a dummy. I'm not a dummy. Oh, we have to, how do we? Oh, there it goes. Da, 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 da! And then you insert the CPU. Is this very in-depth? Do you have to put thermal intake gel on it? Let's find out. Cooling. No? Miscellaneous. Is it in here? Thermal paste! Haha! You have to put thermal paste on top of the CPU. And then rub it. You gotta rub it around. Rub it around. Okay, it doesn't want to rub. I can't rub the body over lotion. Okay, so typically you're supposed to rub thermal paste all over the CPU so that way it cools it efficiently. But I guess in this case, a Doppel will work. Alright, and if you don't remember that, it's okay if you have an Intel, because the Intel will do its own cooling thing, but eventually it'll fry. AMDs have certain aspects behind them where it's like, okay, no, we can't do this without cooling paste. What else is miscellaneous? Standoff, driver cooler, thermal paste, Scout Black Panel, DVD-RD. We will need that because, you know what? In this world, even though, you know, we're going fully digital, it's always good to have a DVD drive because you never know. And this case doesn't come open. You know, this is actually a very, just really down-to-earth kind of case, isn't it? Alright, we're gonna get a simple fan. Okay, maybe not. Is it a stock cooling? Stock cooler? Ah, stock cooler on top of that. I never use stock coolers, personally. I feel like aftermarket coolers are really a lot better. They cool a lot better. And as you can tell, we got an Intel computer going on here. And don't forget to put your CPU in before you put your cooler in, because what's the point in putting a cooler in? Because the only thing it's supposed to do is cool out the frickin' CPU. If there's no CPU, it's not doing its job. So, you know, yeah. Alright, after the frickin' cooling fan, I'm pretty sure you understand what that does. It cools the CPU. I've already said it. Cool. After that, let's get some storage. Let's get some, I don't know. You know, like I said, it doesn't really matter. You can do it in whatever way after the motherboard and after the hard drive. Personally, I don't use this many hard drives. I wish I did. 4 is a very big amount. I really wish it would tell us how big it is. Oh, DDR. No, that's not what I had last. Storage. Oh, I used it all up. Cool. Alright. And then we have memory, which goes here because it's RAM. We gotta pull back the pins. Don't forget to pull back the pins because they won't go in unless you do. And then you can slot them all in. Now, the funny thing is, if it's your first build, you will not understand, but the slots are placed as A and A, B and B, or A and C, B and D, depending on how you want to look at it. But channels A and A go together and B go together, essentially creating a loop and makes it so it's more powerful. Yeah. If you have 2 8 gigabytes per second kind of RAM storage, it will create 16 in a channel. Vice versa, if you had like 4, it would make 8. Doesn't really matter. It really depends on what you're fitting for to have. Yes. And then we put our fans in. We could put them there. I guess we could put them underneath here too. No? Is it? It's not. I guess it's not a. Okay. The cooling system in this computer is really weird. Usually you have fans that are on top as well, but I guess, do I have to take this off? Do I have to lift that up? Nope. Cool. I guess that's all we have. What is a standoff? To install standoffs, hover over your mouse over the highlighted slots and then press the... Oops. How do I take parts out? Okay, so really quickly, before we continue with where we were, standoffs are the kind of screws that go underneath the motherboard to hold the motherboard in. I didn't realize that the game was going to be so sufficient, or, you know, really down to that point where it's like we have to put our own standoffs in. Oh, it's trying to teach us. Before we install the motherboard, we need to install power supply. You don't really have to do it in that order, but, you know, whatever. Anyways, the standoffs hold up the motherboard, keeps it from surging out, and keeps it from your motherboard frying from the metal contact on your computer. Or your computer case. Yeah, because you do not want that to happen. You will fry your computer, and it will be worth nothing. It will go from a simple, nice amount of worth to literally nothing. An I/O shield. What is the I/O shield? Like, there's certain things in here that I don't even know about. Now we're going to install the I/O shield. Oh, okay. The I/O shield is just a panel for all the ports in the back. Cool. You know what? There's a tutorial now. Now I don't have to go off and nope. I don't have to go off and do this myself no more. At this point in real life, you would install the screws that hold the motherboard. You being sure to have every standoff, but the parts in this game are held together by magic, so they don't require any screws. Cool. That's great. Awesome. Yeah. Which is kind of why I didn't realize that there would be standoffs in the first place, because Magic holds up the CPU and everything. Motherboard. Now to install the CPU. Yeah. We already went through all this, so I'm just kind of power driving through it. Ba-bam! Ba-bam! And then it's going to tell me to get out the thermal paste. So, let's get that out. Paste! Ba-boom! See, look, I'm already ahead of the freaking game. Now, yeah, freaking cooler. I know all of this. You know? Bam! I don't even need to look at it. I can look through it through the tutorial. I don't need this. I don't need that shit. You know? I pretty much already told you guys everything. Graphics cards? Well, if you ain't got graphics cards, then this is pretty much up to speed now. We're back to where we were. If you don't got graphics cards, you're shit for gaming. You're not going to be able to do nothing with gaming. Because if you're lucky, you get a motherboard that has an actual, like, GPU that's, like, hybrid. So you can actually play games and do things on a monitor with just the motherboard. But if you don't have a graphics card, you ain't doing, no. You are not doing full-fledged gaming. It ain't going to happen. No, it will not. Alright. So we're not exactly right back to where we were because I got to put the RAM in. Cool. I know. Please stop with the popping of the information. Ba-boom! Okay, you want me to put the hard drives in? I'll put the hard drives in. Just watch me. Just you watch. If you would stop with... Okay, cool. I get it. If this thing doesn't stop going off and doing that to me, I'm gonna pee on a box. I swear. Alright? Okay. And then it wants us to do bridging. I'm gonna guess. Or no. Cables? What do you want me to do? Alright, the last part of this tutorial is cabling. To start doing it, press F1 and change to the cabling mode. Oh, well, it's a good thing I read that, because I would never have known that. Cabling mode! So we just... Woo, boy, it's really making me think about what I gotta put here, huh? How do I get out of the screen? Because I really don't know what I clicked. I believe we clicked the USB port. So... Typically, all of your cables are connected and are labeled, not connected, they are labeled, usually with certain things, and USB is usually labeled as USB, but there is no USB in here. Maybe it's Molex? Nope. Well, let's just keep clicking them until it goes in. Cool. PCIe. That's great. Didn't know that. I didn't know that was it. Okay, and this is usually connected with 8 pins PCIe. Yeah, look at that. The PCIe power cable is 6-pin or 8-pin connector using the provided additional power supply card that you... Woo! Yep. Butchered that up, didn't I? And you use the other one, which is a 6-pin, and that connects your graphics card to your power supply. Now your graphics card can get some power from your power supply, and it's great. This one's really easy. Power supply, like, power supply to the motherboard directly for power is literally just 24-pin, most generally. It's pretty much universal at this point. This is just a fan cable. This is an 6-pin. What? ESP. It's an ESP. I should have known that. Doing great. And this is another fan cable, because it connects from this fan. Yay! We did it! We did all the fanning. ESP cable, yes. You can take it, yep. Is there another one hiding on me? Because I don't see anything else that needs to be connected via cabling. Maybe the hard drives. The hard drives? The hard drives. Yes, hard drives. Which is SATA. SATA powered. And then you gotta hook every single one of them up. Or not. I guess not. It's not letting me do any more. Cool. Alright. Well, you got me. I guess each cable requires something different. Alright. You know, I always start to get stumped at the very end as to what is actually needing to go off. And, oh, that's how I unmount. But you see, now we pretty much have it built. This is the computer. You can do whatever you want from here because it's functioning, except for there's no OS system, which is operating system. You gotta put Windows or something in it. Windows, Linux, Mac, Mac's a little harder to get a hold of. But, you know, whatever. Hey, now we can turn it and really modify it to our own liking by putting in some disk drives somewhere. I guess not. Guess it doesn't want us to put disk drives in. Change projects. I don't want to change projects. Okay. Well, I guess the feature of putting in disk drives is no longer a thing. Drive covers. I guess we could put drive covers in and then maybe put in a disk drive? It really doesn't want us to put a disk drive in. Wow. Well, I guess we're not putting a disk drive in. I guess we're just going to have just plain old drive covers. And we're just not going to have disk drives, guys. Everything's going to have to be done USB way. We have to put it in through USB. Operating system and all. Which means you're going to have to go to a friend's house, install it from the disk onto a USB, bring the USB back to your computer, and install it. Yep. And then we can put the panels on. Bada bing, bada boom. It's even windowed. Look at that. Do we have any more graphics cards? Oh, we do. Oh, I could just put it in through to the side. But I need to take off that. Because if you don't, then, well, that's not what I wanted to press. I need to do unmounting. Take it off. Whoops, accidentally took the graphics card out. Doing that because I have to go off and I need to reconnect it again. Because remember, if you do not reconnect it, or if you do not connect every part that you bring in, then you cannot use it. And it does not seem to want me to put it back in. So I guess that is a bug. Very strange. Cool. Great. Well, I am just going to... Oh wait, I'm still in unmounting, aren't I? Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it? Oh, cool. Great. And then we go into cabling mode, and then we gotta connect it up because, yep. That one's an 8-pin, that one's a 6-pin. And then we go back into mounting mode, and then we put the side panel back on. And I think we are done. That is our computer. It is completely built with two massive 1080 GTX GeForce graphics cards, a nice 770K i7 Intel processor, stock fan, which I don't like, no cooling system as far as water cooling, but it's still a powerful designated beast and will do the job just right for you when it comes to high-speed gaming. Put a bridge on those graphics cards and you've got it made. Anyways, I think that's going to wrap up the video for PC Building Simulator. I hope everybody has learned a little bit of something about a PC building, and I hope that everybody will go off into the future building their own PCs. Just remember, they are expensive builds, so if you are going to do it, make sure you at least save up, one, or buy your parts like I did separately and over time and build your PC like that. Trust me, it is a lot more fulfilling to do it like that. Even though it might irritate you to all hell because you haven't finished it yet. It's still more efficient and it feels better. And you can tell it's expensive based on the balance or the budget that we have of $2,000 for this PC. Yep, those graphics cards alone would have cost $800 for both of them. That doesn't tell you something. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you have, don't forget to shoot the like button to keep it awesome. Don't forget to stay awesome because you are awesome. And I'll catch you in the next whatever I do. Ciao!